is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First carry now for David Montgomery. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go. To throw is Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. This defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. A handoff for Gibson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. His kick is indeed good, and it's 3-0 Washington. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on the job.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And Washington going to add on to their lead. extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Kaepernick going to throw. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try the left side with Gibson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. The tackle by Robert Quinn.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
To throw, it's Kaepernick. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
He'll fire this deep for Gallup, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Rolling to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Montez Sweat. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. And he finds his tight end, Graham. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. The 20. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Slide for the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at him now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Fields going to get this to Montgomery. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. That catch good for only a couple.
Brandon, you know, this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Now it's Fields. Going deep here for Landry. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. And it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
So the first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Once more, Gibson. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. On third down. It's Gibson, and he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Tressway now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Now Landry. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. William Jackson with a pick. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Kaepernick now on 1st down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. Flushed out right. And he whips that one incomplete there.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Going to throw right side here, complete. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And his kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Off play action, Fields.
He's going to look deep now for Landry.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young.
Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Jamin Davis.
And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Dillon.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
A.J. Dillon.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And Washington able to capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Back now at Soldier Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Back to throw. Fields.
And he finds Montgomery complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he will have the Bears first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
To the air again, Fields.
And now here is another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
On play action, it's Kaepernick. He'll buy some time right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
They'll run on first down. Gibson. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Washington on 3rd down.
Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked.
And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Fields.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
On first down, Fields.
Steps away to his left. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Fields on first down.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Chase Young picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And that one drops to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
On 1st down, it's Gibson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
So a victory here for the Washington football team.
And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Washington,
it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.